The soft hum of passengers boarding echoed through the gate at Los Angeles International Airport. Business travelers clutched their laptops, families herded children, and first-class passengers strode confidently toward the priority lane. Among them walked a teenage girl. She was 17 years old, dressed in comfortable travel clothes, black leggings, a simple white t-shirt, and a gray zip-up hoodie. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail, and she carried a worn backpack over one shoulder. No designer bags, no flashy jewelry, just a girl heading to catch a flight. As she approached the first-class boarding line, the gate agent looked up and immediately frowned. "Excuse me, miss," the agent said sharply. "First class is this line. Economy boarding is over there." The girl held out her boarding pass. "I know, I have a first-class ticket." The agent's eyebrows shot up. She examined the pass, then looked at the girl again, her expression shifting from surprise to suspicion. "This says first class, but—" She paused, lowering her voice. "Are you sure this is your ticket? Did someone else book this for you?" "I booked it myself," the girl replied calmly. The agent exchanged a glance with her colleague, a smirk playing at the corner of her lips. "Look, sweetie, first-class tickets cost thousands of dollars. I'm not sure how you got this, but we need to verify it." "Go ahead," the girl said, her voice patient. "My name is Leigh Waters." The agent typed something into her computer, her movements slow and deliberate. Behind her, other passengers in line began to shift impatiently. A businessman in an expensive suit sighed loudly. "Can we speed this up?" he muttered. "Some of us have actual business to attend to." The agent turned to him with an apologetic smile. "I'm sorry, sir. We just need to verify this situation." The businessman glanced at the teenage girl and scoffed. "Kids these days, probably trying to sneak into first class for the Instagram photos." A few passengers chuckled. The girl's expression remained calm, though her jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. The gate agent finished typing and frowned at her screen. "The ticket appears to be valid, but," she hesitated, clearly unconvinced. "I'm going to need to speak with my supervisor." "That's fine," the girl said. Minutes passed. The line grew longer. Passengers murmured complaints. Finally, a supervisor appeared, a tall woman with a pinched expression and a clipboard. "What seems to be the problem?" she asked. The gate agent gestured toward the teenager. "This young lady claims she has a first-class ticket, but given her appearance, we wanted to verify." The supervisor looked at the girl, her eyes sweeping over the casual clothes, the backpack, the ponytail. She didn't hide her skepticism. "Do you have ID?" The girl handed over her passport without a word. The supervisor examined it, compared it to the boarding pass, and her frown deepened. "The ticket is valid," she admitted reluctantly, "but first class has certain standards. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable in economy." "I paid for first class," the girl said quietly. "I'd like to sit in first class." The businessman behind her laughed. "Just let her have her little adventure. She probably saved up her allowance for months." More laughter rippled through the line. The supervisor sighed. "Fine, but I'll be keeping an eye on things." The girl nodded and walked down the jetway, her steps measured and calm. Once on the plane, she made her way to seat 2A, a window seat in first class. As she settled in, a flight attendant approached, her expression cool. "Miss, are you sure you're in the right seat?" "Yes," the girl replied. "Seat 2A, first class." The flight attendant checked her list, then raised an eyebrow. "Very well. Can I get you anything? Perhaps a juice box?" She said it with a condescending smile, clearly amused by her own joke. A couple of passengers in nearby seats chuckled. The girl looked up at the attendant, her eyes steady. "Water would be fine, thank you." The attendant walked away, still smirking. As more passengers boarded, whispers followed the teenage girl in first class. She heard fragments. "Too young to be here. Must be someone's kid. I wonder who she's pretending to be." She ignored them all, pulling out a book and beginning to read. The businessman from the gate took his seat across the aisle. He glanced at her and shook his head. "First time flying first class?" he asked, his tone dripping with condescension. The girl looked up from her book. "No." "Really?" he laughed. "Could have fooled me." He turned away, still chuckling to himself. The flight continued, and the treatment didn't improve. The flight attendants served her last, addressed her curtly, and made little effort to hide their disdain. At one point, the supervisor from the gate walked through first class, pausing to give the girl a long, disapproving look before moving on. Through it all, the girl remained composed. She read her book, ate her meal quietly, and responded to every slight with patience. But halfway through the flight, something changed. The captain's voice came over the intercom, calm but urgent. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a minor technical issue. Nothing to be alarmed about, but we're going to need to make an unscheduled stop. We'll keep you updated." Passengers murmured nervously. The businessman across the aisle cursed under his breath. The flight attendants hurried to and from the cockpit, their faces tense. Then, unexpectedly, a senior airline executive emerged from the back of the plane. He had been flying incognito, observing flight operations as part of a routine evaluation. His eyes scanned the first-class cabin until they landed on the teenage girl. He walked over to her seat and leaned down. "Miss Waters?" he asked quietly. "Yes." "I'm Robert Chen, Senior Vice President of Operations. I had no idea you were on this flight. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience with the technical issue." The cabin fell silent. Passengers stared. The businessman's mouth dropped open. The flight attendant who had offered the juice box went pale. "It's fine," the girl said calmly. "These things happen." Robert Chen nodded, then turned to address the flight attendants. "I need to have a word with the crew, immediately." As he walked toward the galley, whispers erupted through the cabin. "Who is she? Miss Waters? Why is a VP talking to a teenager?" The businessman leaned across the aisle, his earlier arrogance replaced by nervous curiosity. "Excuse me, miss, I didn't catch your name properly. Who exactly are you?" The girl closed her book and looked at him. "Leigh Waters." "And that means—" "It means," came a voice from behind them, "that she's one of the primary investors in our airline's new sustainability initiative." Robert Chen had returned, his expression grave. He addressed the entire first-class cabin. "Miss Waters and her family foundation invested $50 million in our fleet modernization program last year. She's not just a passenger. She's one of the most important stakeholders this airline has." The silence that followed was deafening. The gate supervisor, who had followed the executive into first class, looked like she might faint. The flight attendant who had mocked the girl was visibly trembling. Leigh stood up, her voice quiet but carrying through the cabin. "I don't want special treatment because of who I am. I want fair treatment because I'm a human being." She looked at the flight attendants, at the supervisor, at the passengers who had mocked her. "I'm 17 years old. I dress comfortably when I travel because I value comfort over appearances. I don't announce who I am because I believe respect should be given to everyone, not just those with money or status." She paused, letting her words sink in. "Today, I was mocked. I was questioned. I was treated like I didn't belong. Not because I did anything wrong, but because of how I looked. Because I'm young, because I wore a hoodie instead of a designer suit." The businessman looked away, his face red with embarrassment. "I want you all to think about that," Leigh continued. "How many other people have been treated the way you treated me? People who don't have the privilege of revealing an investment portfolio to prove their worth." Robert Chen stepped forward. "Miss Waters, I can assure you that every staff member involved will face consequences for their behavior. This is unacceptable." Leigh shook her head. "I don't want anyone fired." The cabin stirred with surprise. "What I want," she said, "is training, real training. Every employee at this airline should understand that respect isn't based on appearance, age, or the price of someone's ticket. It's based on the fact that we're all human beings." Robert Chen nodded solemnly. "You have my word. This will be addressed at every level of the organization." Leigh sat back down. "Good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to finish my book." The rest of the flight passed in subdued silence. The flight attendants who had mocked her earlier now served her with trembling hands and murmured apologies. The supervisor couldn't meet her eyes. The businessman across the aisle stared out his window, lost in thought. When the plane finally landed, Leigh gathered her backpack and walked toward the exit. As she passed the flight attendant who had offered her a juice box, she paused. "I hope you remember this," she said quietly. "The next teenager in a hoodie might not have $50 million, but they still deserve respect." The attendant nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry. I won't forget." Leigh stepped off the plane and into the terminal. Her mom, Leigh Waters, was waiting for her at the gate. "How was the flight?" Leigh asked. Leigh smiled faintly. "Educational." "I saw the reports already. Something happened?" "Something always happens," Leigh replied, "but maybe this time it'll actually change something." They walked toward baggage claim together, two figures blending into the crowd. No entourage, no cameras, just a mother and daughter heading home. But behind them, the airline staff were already assembling for an emergency meeting. Within 24 hours, a new company-wide training program would be announced. Within a week, the story would leak to the press. Within a month, other airlines would follow suit. All because a teenage girl in a hoodie refused to accept disrespect and chose to respond with dignity instead of anger. That evening, Leigh posted a simple message on her social media. "Today, I was reminded that respect has no age requirement and no dress code. The way we treat strangers reveals who we really are. Let's all be kinder. Let's all see beyond appearances. And let's remember that everyone we meet deserves dignity." The post went viral within hours, millions of likes, hundreds of thousands of comments, people sharing their own stories of being judged by their appearance. But for Leigh, it was never about the numbers. It was about the message, and the hope that somewhere, a young person reading her words would feel seen, would feel valued, would know that they belonged no matter what anyone said. Because worth isn't determined by what you wear, it's determined by who you are. And at 17 years old, Leigh Waters had proven once again that she was a champion in every sense of the word. If you believe everyone deserves respect regardless of their appearance, type respect in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories about people who lead with heart.